In this week's issue of People, the couple opens up about their romantic engagement and the unique ring Scott proposed with. When it came time to find an engagement ring for Zooey Deschanel, Jonathan Scott knew exactly what he was looking for. She had mentioned it a while ago. Scott, 45, tells People exclusively in this week's issue. So when she had mentioned that this was a ring that she liked, I immediately screen grabbed that and held on to that for a long time, probably over a year. That was the one she got. The ring features multicolored stones laid out in a floral pattern, and it's totally unique. Resembling a flower crown, the ring is outside the norm, and that's just how Deschanel likes it. I didn't want just a diamond ring, she tells People. There's just so many different beautiful gemstones. It's fun to have something different. I mean, I love diamonds, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to turn down a diamond. But I like the fun colors, and I like pink and purple. The ring incorporates those colors Deschanel loves so much, with pink and purple sapphires and diamonds. Despite how much she loves it, though, she couldn't wear it right away after Scott popped the question, because the ring didn't fit quite right. It was big for me. I didn't wear it, Deschanel, 43, admits. I measured so badly, the Property Brothers star adds. So I said to the jeweler, I was like, you know Zooey, what size? They're like, she is definitely a 6. She's a 6. Deschanel clarifies that the ring she was given was actually a 5.5. However, she's neither a 6 nor a 5.5. She's a 4.75. Nevertheless, the couple got the ring size after Scott proposed in August in Scotland, and now Deschanel is happy to wear it all the time. The couple announced the news in a joint post on their Instagram accounts on August 14. Forever starts now, read the simple caption, which was accompanied by some smiling heart emojis and an infinity symbol. Proposing in Scotland was important for Scott, as he often weaves his heritage into key moments in his life. He and twin brother Drew Scott even wore kilts for Drew's 2018 wedding. The twins' father, Jim, emigrated from the country to Canada as a teen. The couple first met in 2019 while filming an episode of James Corden's Carpool Karaoke with their siblings, which included Bones actress Emily Deschanel. After filming, the group of 4 went out to sing karaoke together in LA on their own. A source told People at the time. They were all talented and spontaneous, and they had a really fun time shooting the show. The source said, they became friends after and then started talking as friends and realized there was more to it. They went Instagram official in October of that year and spent the COVID-19 pandemic together. A source told People at the time that they bonded over a shared love of music. I'm not going to lie, I did not see this coming. Scott tells People of his relationship with Deschanel in this week's cover story. It's amazing when you have someone who not only shares a lot of interests, but also I've never met anybody with master conflict resolution skills like this one over here. So actually, because it's an important part of a relationship too, somebody who cares to make sure that you can get through the hard moments. I'm so lucky, Deschanel says in response. I'm the luckiest. The HGTV host and the actress got engaged in Scotland in August and opened up for the first time about the big day to People in this week's issue. Clueless. I was clueless is how Zooey Deschanel describes the moments before her now fiancé Jonathan Scott proposed. The Property Brothers host, 45, popped the question to the actress, 43, after 4 years of dating in August, and pulled off quite the surprise spectacle with the help of her 2 kids, Elsie, 8, and Charlie, 6, he tells People in this week's cover story. On the big day, Scott ensured their group was the last at Scotland's Edinburgh Castle, a favorite spot of the HGTV stars in his family's ancestral homeland. A bagpipe band was performing on the grounds, but when the music suddenly changed, Deschanel says, I was like, I think something's happening. A guitarist stepped forward and started to play Neil Young's Harvest Moon. That's a special song for us, she explains, but I didn't want to decide what was happening until I knew. And then the kids pulled a banner out that said, Zooey, will you marry me? Says Scott. And I said yes, adds Deschanel. That moment wasn't just a surprise for the actress, but for the children as well. Scott hadn't told them the details of the plan until the big moment. They would have told me immediately, the actress admits. But the kid's surprise only added to the sweetness of the moment. When Elsie turned around and read the sign, she immediately goes, "Did you just get married?" And we're like, "Well, no, not yet. But we got engaged," says Scott. And she's like, "Does that mean I get to be a flower girl?" And we're like, yes, you can. So it was really sweet to have them there too. "It was so special," says Deschanel. "Scott had been planning the moment in secret for months. I had asked her parents' permission 2.5 months before doing it. And they were like, 'We already consider you family,' which I feel the same way. And he picked out the ring a year earlier after Deschanel mentioned she liked it. I immediately screen grabbed that and held onto it for a long time. That was the one she got. While the proposal went off without a hitch, the ring still needs a little tweaking. They admit. I measured so badly. I was trying to figure out what ring size," explains Scott. He's like, "What ring size is a woman?" His fiancée jokes. "I'm a 4.75. That's my ring size in case anybody wants to buy me a ring." "Better not," Scott jumps in. "She's off the market." Scott shares even more special moments from their engagement on the newly relaunched DrewandJonathan.com. The newly engaged Property Brothers star and new girl alum opened up to people about their 4-year romance and future in this week's cover story. "When we first started dating, Zooey posted a picture of us together. It might have been the very first time we ever posted anything on social media. And I remember I looked at it and I saw the first comment right below was, 'Why the hell is she with a property brother?' I was like, 'Excuse me, rude.'" Scott tells people with mock indignation in this week's cover story, "Why wouldn't I be with you?" Deschanel 43 chimes in, "Our personalities are so compatible. It's just that we're from different worlds." Chatting with people at their new home in Los Angeles in their first interview since their surprise engagement in August, it's obvious why they're a match. They are perfectly in sync, all playful banter and love-struck grins. But the couple of more than 4 years say there's another reason why they work. "We identify as nerds, we'll have you know," says Deschanel. And their whole history is evidence. After meeting while filming an episode of Carpool Karaoke, during which they sang a mashup of "Baby It's Cold Outside," famously performed by Deschanel and Elf, and Britney Spears' "Baby One More Time," their first date was at an escape room, a favorite activity of Scott's. "I had actually never done one, and he kept telling me how much he liked them," says Deschanel of the interactive puzzle-solving game. "It sounded very much up my alley, and I loved it right away. I mean, I wasn't good at the first one, to be honest, but I've gotten pretty proficient." Scott also got major points for sending her an itinerary for the evening ahead of time. "I was like, this is my dream. I'm a Capricorn," she explains. A few months later, at their first major family event, Jonathan's older brother JB's Halloween wedding, they went all out in coordinating Batman and Catwoman costumes. The HGTV star even said, "I love you" for the first time in a decidedly nerdy setting, while taking in a show at Billy's Magic Castle, a members-only club for illusionists, to which Scott belongs. For all their silliness, the couple are on the same page professionally too. He has made cameos at her She and Him Christmas concerts, and she has appeared on his star-studded HGTV series Celebrity IOU, as well as in features on DrewandJonathan.com. The brothers' website that they relaunched this week is a hub for makeover stories, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, and much more. Still, Scott says he knows he's found an absolute catch. "I'm not gonna lie, this I did not see coming," he says of Deschanel, whom he describes as somebody who cares to make sure you get through the hard moments as well. Both Deschanel and Scott have been married previously, and she has 2 children, Elsie, 8, and Charlie, 6, with her ex-husband, producer Jacob Pekinnick. Scott has happily proclaimed himself a bonus dad, explaining they have even more people to love them. "Our family is very deeply rooted and very blended," adds Deschanel. In August, Scott cemented his future stepdad status when he popped the question to Deschanel at a castle in Scotland with a wildflower-inspired ring set with diamonds and pink and purple sapphires. "We've just been basking in engaged bliss and haven't really figured out anything. Zooey says of their future wedding, but teases, "We do love to throw a party."